All right, the Maschine Plus has a new update, and this thing is major. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Bolo!
All right, so what is so major about this update on the Maschine Plus, you might ask? Well, number one, Native Instruments finally listened to us. It's been a little while, but they listened. And with that, we finally have a full version of Kontakt on the Maschine Plus. Not the half-baked version of it, not the kind of Kontakt on it. We have Kontakt on it. And the version that is on here is the Kontakt 8. And some of you are like, okay, cool, we got Kontakt. Okay, what's so special about that? Well, with us now having the full version of Kontakt, we now have access to play series instruments on the Maschine Plus. But wait, it gets even better. We now have full VST versions of effects on the Maschine Plus as well. Oh, and I forgot to mention the one thing, and I don't know how I forgot to mention this. Inside the new Kontakt 8 inside of the Maschine Plus, you can now use your third-party Kontakt sounds in the Maschine Plus. Now, it's not like you can go in and use like the Alicia Keys expansion or anything like that. It's not that. What I'm saying is if there's any third-party Kontakt sounds that you want to use that have like samples or whatever in it, you can actually take those sounds and put them in the Maschine Plus. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how to do that today, but in future videos, I will show you guys how to use third-party Kontakt sounds in your Maschine Plus. So yeah, it's about to get real. Now, it was super easy to install these effects and everything. I just pretty much went in there and updated Maschine Plus like you usually do. And then I went to the library, and then all the effects and all the new play series sounds and the new Kontakt 8 all showed up inside of the browser. All right, now I do have to say this before everybody gets all happy and starts jumping around and thinking that this stuff is just going to pop up on your Maschine Plus. It's not going to happen like that if you do not own these particular sounds and these effects. Because I know some of y'all are going to be like, yo, Bolo, I updated my Maschine Plus, but I don't see it. I don't see none of the sounds and none of the effects. And then I want to reply back in the comment section, did you buy it? Do you own it? And then you're going to be like, nah. And I'm going to be like, that's why it's not popping up. But if you do own the effects and if you own the play series instruments and Kontakt 8, it will pop up. Now you're probably wondering, what are the effects and what are these instruments that you're talking about, Bolo? Well, here are the instruments and effects that you can now use on your Maschine Plus if you purchased it. You got 24K keys, 24K drums, discoteca keys, and discoteca drums. You got duets, empire breaks, and feel it. Yeah. And you get some additional instruments from the Kontakt Factory Selection 2. And here's the new effects on the Maschine Plus. We get replica, driver, color, psyche delay, tape wobble, solid dynamics, solid bus comp, solid EQ, transient master, supercharger, and supercharger GT. Now, like I said before, you have to have a license inside of your Native Instruments account to be able to use these plugins on the Maschine Plus. Okay, so if you do not have a license to either one of these, they're not going to show up in your updates. Now, I got to keep it 1,000 with y'all. Now, even though all this is cool, do not get me wrong. All this is great, but a lot of this is very CPU heavy, and you also got to understand that a lot of this stuff is going to be loaded directly on your SD card. So if your SD card ain't it, you might want to go ahead and upgrade to a much faster SD card because that's going to determine how this stuff runs on your Maschine Plus. Because we all know the Maschine Plus was dope when it came out. It was ahead of its time and still kind of ahead of its time on a few things. However, when it comes to adding these sounds and effects on here, with the amount of RAM and CPU, it's not the best. Let's just say that. But Native Instruments was forward thinking, knowing that they were going to do this. That's why they put the bounce in place option on the Maschine Plus. That way, once you use these particular sounds that may actually use a lot of the CPU and a lot of memory on here, you can just bounce it in place, and that way you can save your memory and your CPU by using these effects and using these sounds. So you got to make sure you have a really good SD card. So this is my SD card I'm using right here. This is the micro SD card right here. And of course it comes with an adapter and you just pop the little micro SD card in there. And this particular micro SD card is a V30 card, which is one of the recommended cards that you can use inside of the Maschine Plus with all of these new sounds to kind of get everything running. Now, I only paid like $25 for this card on Amazon. So these things are very cheap, and I'm just going to tell you right now, you want to get certain specs so this can kind of work, all right? Now, the recommended cards you want to get for your Maschine Plus, whether it's a micro SD card or just a regular SD card, is the UHS-1, the U3, Native 1, Class 10, the V30 card that I got already, and the A1 card. Now, I know some of you guys are super nerds, and I know y'all like to use those super fast cards, the UHS-2 and the UHS-3 cards, but they really don't add any extra benefit, all right? So you can get them, but they're not going to make, things much better or worse either way. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. A lot of these sounds are very CPU intensive, so you're going to be doing a lot of bouncing, okay? And I know I said that this update was major, and I know some of y'all are like, well, why is this update major when you can only use maybe like 1 or 2 sounds and then the CPU is fried? Well, the thing is this. The reason why I call this a major update is because of not what is going on right now. I'm more concerned about what is going to be going on in the future. And hopefully, with this being the start of having Play Series instruments on the Maschine Plus, hopefully, and I can't peek into the future, hopefully that means that we will at some point get some new machines, whether it be like a Maschine MK4 or another Maschine Plus standalone unit. Maybe it might be coming in the future. I don't know. But I sincerely hope so. Come on, Native Instruments. I'm hoping that this can happen because I believe a lot of people are still very interested in the Maschine. A lot of people still use it to this day. And I believe that with now adding this type of support inside of the Maschine, they got to go ahead and step things up. Like they got to. They can't just leave this. They got to build up on that, make it better. New Maschine, hopefully coming soon. But either way, when I head over to the Maschine Plus, I have some of the Play Series sounds. I don't have everything, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open them up. I'm going to scroll through some of the presets so you guys can check it out real quick. And then I'm going to show you guys some of the effects inside of the Maschine Plus as well. So let's head over to the Maschine Plus right now, and let's check out some of these new sounds and effects. All right, so we're in the Maschine Plus right now. We have the new 3.4 update in here, and I have some of the sounds and some of the effects. I don't have everything, but I have some of them. So let's go ahead and let's actually go through the effects first so I can show you guys some of the effects. So let's go ahead and click on here. All right, so we're in the Maschine Plus, and we have the new update installed, and I have some of the sounds and some of the effects. I don't have everything, but I have some of them. And right now, let's kind of go through them, and let's go through the effects first. So let's go right here through the browser. And if we go in here to the browser, as you guys can see, I have driver right here, and I have a few more effects. And if I go down here, you'll see I got the solid bus comp, solid dynamics, solid EQ, supercharger, supercharger GT, and transient master. Let's just go right here. Actually, let's go to driver. Let's go to driver, and then let's go ahead and load this 303 driver up, okay? So when we load this up, as you guys can see, it pops up. You see the whole little icon, the picture of it, which is cool. And then you have all of these different controls down here, the different macros that we can control inside of here. And we have different pages of all the stuff that we can control with this driver, okay? So you can do that with pretty much all the effects. Very easy to use. Now, hopefully in the future, they can have it to where we can kind of see stuff moving like that. But, hey, we listen with our ears, you know what I'm saying? Not with our eyes. So that's the way we can actually use pretty much all these effects on here. And it works with just about all of them. So if we go right here, we can go to like even this solid bus comp right here. We can go ahead and load up like something like backing vocals. And it opens up. And then, of course, we have our threshold, makeup, ratio, attack, release, output, add in the dry or wet on here. And then we have a side chain mode and all that stuff. So we have all of this right here. And then we can add more effects to the chain as well. So we can just keep adding different effects. We can add the transient master, the gate, all the stuff that we've already had already, or we can go back into our browser and add more effects. Like say, for instance, we want to add like the supercharger GT. We can load that up. And then now we have both of these on here, and then we can use these effects in a chain if we want to. All right, so it's actually pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take those off real quick. Now, let's go ahead and go through some of the sounds in here. All right, so let's go right here to our browser, and then we're gonna go to our instruments. And as you guys can see, we have some of the new Play Series sounds in here. And then we're gonna go right here to Discoteca drums, and let's go through maybe like one or two of the patches. So here's one of the patches. And let's see what this one is. All right, sounds pretty cool. But the good thing about these is, say for instance, if I want to load this up, I'm going to load up this patch, and we're going to see how long it takes to load up too, because it's coming directly off the SD card. And that one didn't take too long. That didn't take too long, not too bad. Now we're going to go right here into the main screen right here, and as you guys can see, it has a nice little icon and everything for it. And then we have the macros down here for it as well. And then if we play this in just like a regular pad mode, that's how it sounds. But if we go to keyboard mode, now we're going to have different variations of each one of these patterns. So we have different variations. Now, the cool thing about this is if we don't want to use the patterns and we want to use the individual sounds, we can go ahead and use that as well. So now we can just go right down here and we can press octave, I believe, down twice. And then now we have the individual sounds. And this is for every one of the kits. So it can work like that. Very cool, very efficient. Now, as you guys can see, when I was actually playing these actual sounds, let's go up here. The CPU usage is kind of high, okay? But that's why Native Instruments put the bounce feature inside of here, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys that with something else. Let me go to the browser real quick, and let me go to like, let's go to Discoteca keys right here. So let's go through. Let's find something. All right, let's say, for instance, this, Bonjour. Let's go ahead and load that up real quick. And we're going to see how long this takes to load up. Doesn't take that long, not too bad. And then we're going to go in here, and if we go into our keyboard mode, we're going to keep it on minor. So let's go ahead and just play something real quick and record it in. And I'm going to show you guys how to use the bounce feature in here, because if you don't know where to find it, it can kind of get a little tricky. All right, so we added the part in there, and as you guys can see, the CPU jumped up to like 40, 50% just now, and we know we're not going to be able to make a beat with that. Now, what we can do is we can go right here into pad mode. We have to go into pad mode right here. And as you guys see, it'll look like this. And then what we can do is press shift and you'll see bounce. So we just select on bounce. And it's going to ask you, do you want to convert the patterns to a sound slot into audio loops? Now, the thing about it is it removes all the MIDI events for that particular channel. So you won't be able to have any MIDI events. So once you bounce it, it's pretty much done. You have to commit. Now, you can copy the MIDI events first. So I tell a lot of people a lot of times when they ask me about this is copy the MIDI events to another track. When you do that, it's just going to copy the MIDI events. It's not going to copy the sound. And you can save it on one of those tracks or save it to like a track later on down the line, and then you can bounce this down. So what I like to do is I don't do always allow. I just do allow once. So I'm going to bounce this thing down real quick. And now that we have this thing bounced, as you guys can see, we can play this thing back. So we have it bounced down, everything is cool. Now, before we go any further, I always tell people, go right here to this engine mode right here, and then turn this to stretch. When you turn this to stretch, you can go ahead and use this sound with your tempo going up or down, because the stretch feature inside of the Maschine Plus is crazy good. Like, this is one of the best stretch warp slash features that you can ever use inside of a box. This thing is great. You can pitch this up, you can pitch it down, and you can turn the tempo up and down a lot, and it doesn't give you no crazy artifacts. So if I play it, and let's change the tempo of it. Sounds great. And even if you tune it, it sounds great. Works great. Works really good. Now let's go ahead and go through a few more sounds so you guys can just hear what else comes with this new update and with the new sounds that can now work on the Maschine Plus. So let's go ahead and remove that. Let's go back to browser. Let's go to duets, see what duets has. Like Big Step, sounds pretty cool. Let's load that up. Let's see how long this takes to load. Okay, takes a little bit longer. All right, took a little bit longer on that one right there. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna go to keyboard mode and we're gonna play this. Not bad. Let's go into chords mode right here and see how it sounds. So this is a mono instrument, so it's not gonna work in chords mode, so it's not too bad. All right, so it's a mono sound, so that's not gonna work in chords mode. Not bad. All right, not bad. Let's go into Empire Breaks, okay? This is a really good drum kit in here, so if you guys are looking for some really good, like, break beats, this is good. That's not bad. All right, so let's go ahead and load that one in there real quick. And let's see how long it takes. Didn't take too long. So let's go right here. I believe the original tempo is like 84 or something like that. So let's go right here to 84 BPM. All right, so we got the tempo there. All right, sounds good. And of course, like I said before, if we take the octave down like 2, cool. Has all the sounds and stuff in there, the individual sounds and the actual breaks that you can use as well. So that's not bad. See what else they got? That's nice. That's nice. That's cool. All right, now let's go to Feel It. Let's go to Feel It, see what they got in here. Sounds good. I like that. What's that? Bonito? See how long that takes to load up. Doesn't take too long. Okay. It's called Feel It. Let's put this octave up. So you can actually use these with chords. Let's go ahead and put an octave up. It's cool. Let's go ahead and put this in a chord mode. All right, sounds pretty cool. I wouldn't probably use those chords like that. It's not bad, not bad. Oh, that sounds good right there. Oh, I'm gonna use that one right there. Yeah, that's the one I want to use. See how that sounds. And go down. All right, that was cool. I thought it was gonna be a little bit better on that one. All right, that's cool. So yeah, they got some pretty decent sounds in there. But one thing I do want to address is I wish they have it to where we don't have to hear the sound automatically auditioned. I think it'll be better if we can just scroll through the sound, and then while we're in like a chromatic state on our pads or on our keyboard, we can just kind of audition the sound in whatever key that we're playing the song in, rather than hearing the sound auditioned already in a key that our song sometimes is not even in the same key. So hopefully they can get that fixed over time. That would be dope, to where we can just scroll to a sound and then we just kind of press on it. And then that way we can kind of hear it in whatever key that we already have our beat on. That would actually be kind of cool. But however, as you guys can see, Native Instruments did listen to us. They did add in these features. Yes, they're not perfect, but I think, and I'm hoping that this is for a better cause in the future. I hope they're setting this up to be either a new machine, or they're going to try to make some updates to where this stuff can actually run a little bit smoother on here. But they did listen to us. That's what I can say is, and I thoroughly appreciate them listening to us and, you know what I'm saying, listening to what we wanted to have inside of the Maschine Plus. And yeah, I'm going to be doing more videos on this, some more cook-up videos and stuff like this, and lives. And I will be doing a video showing you guys how to load third-party Kontakt sounds in here, so that way you can use your third-party instruments inside of the Maschine Plus. So yeah, this is actually a very cool update. I'm very excited on it, and I hope you guys are excited as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.